Hi, I'm Peyton. Throughout this course, I've studied interpersonal communication and how it affects relationships both professionally and personally. This is a project about the reflection I have made on my own relationships, both professional and personal, and how it has helped me further my career and my friendships. I wanted to begin this project with a discussion of empathy. I feel like everyone has learned the basic concept of empathy when they were in elementary school. Basically putting yourself in someone else's shoes. That is not to say, however, that everyone is good at empathizing. I've never really been good at empathizing or comforting people when my friends are crying. I kind of just pat them on the back and go on with the day. Not great at it. I never really understood that to truly empathize with someone, you have to delve into each of the three dimensions: cognitive, emotional, and concern. To empathize with someone, you need to be open-minded. You have to be able to understand another point of view, to experience the same feeling, and have interest in another person's well-being. In studying empathy and thus delving deeper into its different dimensions, I feel that my personal relationships have been affected in a positive manner. I can be a better friend and begin to truly understand what others are going through. I am far better at perceiving others and understanding the meaning behind their behavior, as well as how to help. Week 6 was one of my favorite lectures. It talked about nonverbal communication and essentially how to read others using body language, touch, distance, and voice. I've always been pretty good at reading others. I picked this up in high school when I was heading home from a friend's house, or I was pretty sure I was in trouble and wanted to prepare myself ahead of time. There are certain cues a person gives out when they're upset. For example, when my mom was angry, she'd avoid talking to me and walk around without making eye contact. When she looked down instead of talking to me, I knew she didn't want to listen and I should just go on my way. Fun fact, the study of eyes and communication is called oculesics. In a professional realm, nonverbal communication is so important. Think about interviews. Everyone says that appearing confident is so important. This means sitting up with your shoulders back, maintaining eye contact, and using a steady voice. Appearance also plays a huge role in nonverbal communication. This goes back to the saying, dress to impress. Chapter 9 focuses on different stages of relationships and how to repair damaged relationships. Unfortunately, I have been in a relationship with relational transgressions, or a violation by one partner of the explicit terms of the relationship. In high school, my boyfriend at the time, now my ex-boyfriend, cheated on me. In this instance, it was a one-time transgression rather than incremental, meaning it only happened once. Obviously, this was a significant transgression, and it took a lot to repair this relationship. Forgiveness, in my opinion, is very hard to give out and even harder to receive. In this instance, my boyfriend did give a very good apology. Any ideal apology has 3 elements: explicit admission, genuine acknowledgement of regret, and some type of compensation. In my situation, he gave me all 3. He also told me he'd make it up to me. He was better at texting me where he was, didn't drink too much, and stopped hanging out with certain friends. Eventually, I did forgive him. One of my strategies for giving forgiveness is understanding all the times that I myself have needed forgiveness and how I've been so lucky to receive that. My family is 5 people in it. My mom, my dad, I have 2 sisters, one older, one younger, and me. Essentially, family is shared goals, moral values, as well as the best and worst life experiences. Like when I got into college to UF, my parents were ecstatic because they also went to UF. There are certain communication rituals and rules that my family has, just like any other family. For example, we say I love you at the end of every call. We always tell each other where we're going, what we're doing, and we always say good morning, good night. Like any family, mine has systems within the larger system. My mom and I are very close. She's my best friend. And my older sister is just as close. I tell the 2 of them everything instead of like my dad, who I definitely leave some stuff out to. I would say my family is more pluralistic, where we're high in conversation but low in conformity. We talk about everything. We know everything about each other, and we're all super close. but at the same time, we're all very different. We all have our own quirks and methods of communications. My parents have always been very good at genuinely listening to my sisters and I, as well as making sure we know how valuable we are. I think the most important strategy to set up and establish confirming communication within a family is to always listen actively, spend time together, and make everyone feel valued. That is one thing that my family is very good at. The last thing I wanted to go over is confirming and disconfirming communication. In today's world, I feel like the communication climate is a little bit more tentative. People are more likely to get upset about things, and you might not even know that you're upsetting them. Communication climate is basically the social tone of a relationship. Luckily, it can be changed, like the weather. It depends on how people feel at a certain moment, how valued they feel. Confirming messages validate people, and disconfirming messages make them feel like they have no value. For instance, if I'm talking to one of my friends at lunch at my sorority house and telling them about a problem I have in my relationship or just with another friend, and they're not really paying attention or giving me any feeling of worth, that's not going to make me feel valued. It's going to feel disconfirming. It's the same in a workplace. If your boss kind of brushes you off or someone belittles you because you're new, those are definitely disconfirming communication. Disagreeing is more just argumentative in terms of levels of communication. You kind of complain, use you statements. It's not helpful. It's more disconfirming. I know when I talk, one of the strategies I use is to actively listen and give feedback, not necessarily give recommendations, but just make the listener aware of the fact that I'm listening to them.